tonight, eh?
Milo, is that you?
There, I think I got it.
Did you get it going?
I did.
I
got it going. Finally, I got it going, Bruce.
Oh, this is good.
And I hit
I can relax now.
Yeah, I got the button going.
The button's going.
The button's going. The button's red. The red studio light's on.
This important announcement: the button has been pushed.
Yeah.
Please stand by for AML excitement.
Yeah. T-minus. Yeah, stand by for AML excitement. That's it. Yeah, stand by for another hour and a half of just nonstop fun and frivolity. They're not all.
What more can we provide?
Yeah, well, and they're not all supposed to be fun and frivolity.
We get serious and down and dirty on some of the hard-hitting topics of model railroading on occasion.
And when I'm yelling at the table master or Kelly, I'm not kidding. I don't know why people think I'm kidding.
You know that.
Exactly. Today I was listening to Viewer Mail 96 about my plan for, if we have another Tom stock, my plan for starting it with me backing the bus out of the garage.
Yes.
I think that's a great way to kick it off. Because it's actually the parking lot around the garage is more built for backing the bus in, not specifically backing it out. So I think I would like a challenge.
Well, there you go. Does it have? But obviously, it doesn't have a backup camera on, or you wouldn't have whacked it into the garage.
That's right. Well, yeah, it has a backup camera.
Does it?
Oh yeah, I don't care about that.
Apparently.
Who's looking at the backup camera? I was busy.
What? You were busy trying to figure out what that clunk was.
I was busy looking in the mirror, see how good I look going backwards. Remember, that's the only reason I have mirrors on my motorcycle. See how cool I look going down the road.
There you go.
I don't have them be looking behind me.
No.
So this is the Kelly questions.
Kelly questions. They're ever popular.
Yeah,
often asked for.
Are they often asked for? The ever popular Kelly questions. These are Kelly questions number 72.
Wow.
Perhaps.
Pushing right along on those.
Perhaps. Perhapsly. Let's see if I can figure it out. For some reason or other, I seem to think that they're number 72. And I don't know why.
The 72 is a nice number.
Yeah, let me see. I think, because I think Mike Hawk was, Mike Hawk was number 71. Because I think Jim Lincoln was 69, which means Michelle Kempem, I believe, was 70. And today I saw on her Facebook page, she says she's doing this T-shirt thing.
I see that.
And today she was wearing the Harvest Gold Marginally Adequate AML T-shirt.
The shirt that started a Kelly question with the fire, and I let her know that.
Oh, did you?
I did. I commented. She said nobody should be wearing that color shirt. And I said, "Excuse me?
Yeah.
This is a shirt I wore when I was bailing on my house was on fire, and it started a Kelly question."
Yeah, exactly. It's it's Harvest Gold.
I was wearing mine without the hole in it the other day.
There you go. Yeah, because I gave you a new one, didn't I?
Yeah, so I got to replace one. I have the game worn one with the hole in it, and then the replacement.
Okay, I think maybe this is Kelly questions number 71. It's either 71 or 72.
Well, we'll find out when it comes to air.
72.
There it goes, 72.
There you go. In fact, it's number 72.
Well, I can rest easy now.
And we've managed to kill almost 5 minutes of podcasting time.
Perfect. Quality stuff.
And besides, we were talking about Michelle Kempem and not liking the Harvest Gold AML shirt.
Yes, I saw that, and I was kind of stunned at that comment by her.
Yeah. This will never be worn ever again. I'm like, okay. I put ouch.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh, yeah. And I explained to her all about the how much it means to me. It was literally what I was wearing when I was running for my life.
I kind of like it. I saw, and today's guest is Chris Costello, and I saw there's a picture of him. The cover shot is a picture of him with Doc Gartner wearing, and he's wearing his Harvest Gold.
Well, perfect. See, it's a popular one.
It's
I
very
mean, it's
popular.
not like the Harvest Gold you used to have in your kitchens. That was kind of
Yeah. That's what we need is one that's that avocado green or whatever it was.
Oh, there you go.
From the
'cause you had
70s.
the popular ones were Harvest Gold and that avocado green. Yes.
Yeah, that's what we need. That was a sweet shirt.
Or you got that kind of coppery color was the other one. I think those are the big three.
Yeah. Okay. I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Have you seen these cars? The newest and greatest craze right now is this gray. A lot of new cars are coming in this blah gray.
It's kind of like that Lovis gray with a gloss to it.
Yeah, but it looks like my son says. He says that people are going into the dealership and they're saying, "Do you have a color that looks like faded construction equipment?" Because that's what it is. It's like faded construction gray.
Yeah.
It's like, why are people buying this color? It's like it's gray.
I don't know. You've seen a lot of them around. It's like I say, like it's Lovis gray.
I call it blah.
I guess we want to be
blah.
You want to be blah gray is a good one. I guess you want to be stealthy going down the highway so the cops don't pick you up, but it doesn't work that well.
No. Well, and it's not. It's like you're going in, you spend $50,000 on a car, and you go, and the guy goes, "What color would you like?" Well, do you have something that's like faded construction equipment? Like, just a really blah color. I don't want, it's not, I just want something that really is drab. Do you have drab?
Yes. I'm a dull person. Do you have drab? Yes.
Now I know
they're wildly popular.
They're very popular. So that shows you what I know.
There you go.
And I know
what color would if you're buying a new car, what color are you going to pick?
My go-to color is always red.
Right.
Always red. But if you can't get it in the car that I'm purchasing, which the last car I got, you couldn't get it in that color, then I go for just like, platinum gray or something like that.
Yeah.
What is it? Yeah, platinum gray or something.
Yeah,
not
gray,
silver.
Champagne.
Not silver.
Champagne gray or whatever. Not the silver. No,
not
gray
silver.
Or champagne gray. It's kind of like Union Pacific Harbor Mist gray.
Yeah, not that mid '90s Pontiac. What was the Pontiac GT? What was the Pontiac?
The GTO.
Yeah, no, the one in the '90s that it wasn't the small Pontiac. It was like a Pontiac. Yeah, well, the one that Rusty Wallace, the one that Rusty.
Those. No,
who were they?
Bonnevilles? Not Bonna.
Nah, I don't remember what they called them.
Yeah, neither do I.
It's some sort of Pontiac. Anyways, that was the worst silver of all. Was those back in the mid '90s? Is that silver that they used to have? But that's not why we're here. Anyways,
no. Why are we here?
We're introducing Kelly Questions, round number 72 with Chris Costello. But the reason we're doing an intro is because I met him in beautiful Buffalo. There's an oxymoron.
Beautiful Buffalo, right by the shores of Lake Erie.
Yeah, the catches not far from Cleveland, where the river catches on fire.
Yes.
But we were in Buffalo at the S-Scale Convention, the National S-Gauge Convention. And I did a little interview with him saying this would be a good prelude into his Kelly Questions, but it really made no sense until about 8 minutes in. So I thought, well, we got to do a little intro we got to do an intro for the intro.
The intro to the Kelly Questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're doing.
So what you're hearing now is the intro to a intro that's kind of blah, like that gray color.
Yeah. Like the intro I ended up doing was it was blah. I said to him, coincidentally, I said to Chris, can we do an interview that's blah? Drab? Can we do drab?
And he said, sure. I'm your guy.
Yeah, well, now that sounds like an insult. So Chris was not drab.
Well, it's no.
All right.
Chris is an entertaining lad.
He's a good guy, absolutely. He's got that business, JL Innovative.
Yep.
I thought it was JL Innovations, but it's not. It's JL Innovative.
Yep.
J and an L and then Innovative.
For those playing at home, Lionel's entering JL Innovative onto his keyboard to drop the website.
JLinnovative.com.
Yes.
And the company's JL Innovative Design. And then you go there. They need to redo their website.
I think it's on his plan because he's got so much new product that he's bringing out and changing around. And they're getting settled into their new building and then going to revamp the website. I think
they have a since used the old fire station in Salamanca, New York. So that's what they have now. Like JL Innovative, it's still the old website with the original owners on here and everything.
Wow.
They got Chris, you got it. But it says questions about this site, contact Chris at jlinnovative.com.
Oh, can you click on that and pop up? Chris, we're looking at your website. What the hell's this?
Yeah, what the hell is this, buddy? Yep, there you can send an email to him. All right,
wow.
That's it. We're done with this.
Okay, we're done with the intro to the intro.
We're done with the intro to the intro. So take it away, Dick.
Subway chimes go.
Okay, so I'm still at the S-Scale convention. What is it called?
What was it?
National Association of S-Gaugers, I think.
I think that's right, yes.
The Nazca. I can't believe Scott Lister isn't here.
I know.
He's the table master.
Yeah, he's the table master. I mean, he's got a private jet, so I mean, he should be able to. He should be able to go anywhere, anytime.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think he did buy the jet yet.
Oh, he didn't?
No, I think he's still on wheels.
Well, just give him a couple weeks.
I want him to buy a jet, but he's balking at that. He's giving me nothing but trouble.
Well, I mean, AML needs a jet.
AML needs a jet.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be big, like maybe an 8-seater.
Yeah, or 10.
One of those citation jobs or something.
Yeah, you're not asking for like a 737 or anything like that.
I'm not asking for the world here. So, I'm with Chris Costello, and we're doing 2 jobs today. I'll tell you what the second job is in a minute, but we are at your booth, JL Innovations. How long have you owned this company now?
A little over 2 years.
And you made these really cool S-scale barrels to sell. They are like fabulous.
Well, thank you.
And mailboxes and derails. Which, speaking of Scott Lister, you sent the derail to Scott to test out.
He did. I did. Yes.
And how'd that go?
Went surprisingly well. Well, not surprisingly. I mean. He's remarkable at what he does. It's,
right.
I was a little surprised that he actually tried to solder one together or solder for Europeans and
that reminds me, our buddy Martin Jenkins hasn't been doing that. He was a little under the weather, so I got to say hi to Martin and make sure you look after yourself, buddy, because you got to annoy the crap out of me. That's your job.
Is he the official annoyer?
Yeah, well, he is the NMRA's board member. He's the worldwide member at large.
Oh, yes.
But I just don't know how big of a man he is.
I have yet to see him in person, so I mean, I've seen him from, like chest to
You're right.
head,
yeah, exactly. That's weird how you know so many people.
I know. I've actually told people, I know people in Australia.
Yeah.
And
the AML is huge in Australia.
It is
one of our next to the lower 48 or all of the United States. Mm-hmm. It's I think the next most popular place for the AML podcast. So, how's the old business going? 2 years in. When did you buy it? Just when the pandemic started? Right
when the pandemic hit. It was a very scary proposition. We sent the check, and the check was cashed, and all of a sudden it's like, oh yeah, here's a pandemic for you.
So it really started like you literally bought it like a month or so before.
Yeah, I put my notice in at my job a week before the pandemic hit. And my boss, actually said to me, he goes, "So are you still doing this?" And I was like, "Yeah, we're still doing this. We're fully invested now."
Wow! And so, what have you learned in 2 years of running this business?
That I really enjoy being self-employed.
Yeah.
So it's so much freedom. I mean, it's a lot of work. But it's so much happier. I tell people all the time, I work 3 times the hours for a quarter of the pay. And I'm 1,000 times happier.
Yeah, I can tell you're a lot happier. And now I can even tell after Tomstock, I keep saying to you, it seems so much more relaxed because you seem to like getting into the rhythm of it. And you got employees now.
Yeah, we got my brother, myself, and four employees now. So.
Wow. Now these barrels I'm just like, I keep looking at it and I'm thinking, first I'm thinking to myself, maybe I can get them to give me a deal.
You might. I mean, I
might, but I don't want to take advantage.
You say something about buying like one of each one. I mean, I'd say if you buy maybe 2 of each one, maybe we can work on something here.
Well, and how much are you paying for this advertising? People all over the world are listening to this, buddy. So
on AML? I don't know. Maybe we're...
so what's the website for JL Innovations?
It's jlinnovative.com. Innovative, yes.
So is it JL? There's no and, just JL.
Right. The company name, well, the company name is Costello Manufacturing.
Right.
But the product line is JL Innovative Design.
Okay.
So, but
I thought it was Innovations.
Nope, Innovative.
What does it say in your shirt?
JL Innovative Design.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Now, why did I think it was Innovations?
The thing is, people know. People, when you say JL Innovations, I think it's most people that at least know of JL Innovative, they know, that's what he's talking about.
It was always one of my favorite booths at Springfield, too.
It really is.
How long had this company been going?
So he started the company in 1991, and I think he started out pretty small. He had maybe a couple kits, and then he started adding the details, and then he started doing the painted details.
Right.
And that's really our big thing, is the painted details.
I was at your manufacturing headquarters, which is actually pretty cool. It's the old firehouse in Salamanca, New York.
Yep.
And you got a ton of room, and the main area where you're doing all the manufacturing and all the packaging and that is really neat. Hang on, what was I going to say? I was going to say something. I can't remember what it was. I talk too much. But anyways, at Springfield, it was always one of my... Yeah, I remember now.
Okay.
So anyways, you're showing me around. You're showing me all the stuff. I was really impressed by the wall of stock.
Product. Yes.
Wall of stock. Yeah, that was what we should call it, the wall of stock.
There we go.
And then you were showing me those motorcycles that you guys have. And I said to you, because you got them in little plastic boxes, piece of foam, blah, blah, blah. But they look like little bits of jewelry.
They do. And my employee that does that, though, I will say those ones turned out way nicer than a lot of them have.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. A lot of them, they've all been nice.
Right.
But for some reason, this batch just looks even better.
Yeah. So. And are they? So you make them, and then they're hand painted.
They're all hand painted. So they're cast in pewter. We have to put the handlebars on.
Right.
We'll spray them black, and then she hand paints the colors and the silvers on them. So they are. I think they're amazing.
I do too. Like when I saw them, I thought, man, these are beautiful. Now, and because of your ability to self-manufacture, you're kind of like AccuRail, eh? Where AccuRail does all their manufacturing in-house.
Yeah.
So because you do your manufacturing in-house, if for some reason or other you decided to make them an S gauge or S scale, because we're here at an S scale, and I bought my first S scale freight car today too.
Yeah. I actually bought my first S scale car too.
I know, and I keep staring at, and the table beside us is a scale trains display.
Yes, those are remarkable.
I know. There's 4 cars. There's 2 freight cars, 2 box cars, a hopper car, and then this caboose that I just keep drooling over.
Yes.
I'm thinking, oh my God, I got to get one of those, or 2 of those, or a dozen of them.
I wonder if you just walked by and picked it up if he'd notice.
If they'd notice, exactly. I hope I can get one in undecorated. I'm not a big fan of today's world where everything is pre-painted and
right.
And undecorated came to a screeching halt. Like, what, 15 years ago?
It's got to be about that.
Because I was buying everything undecorated.
Yeah.
And then it just came to literally a screech. And every train show you went to, anything that people were selling, where there was the Stewart F units or whatever, there would always be the painted ones, but there was always an ample supply of undecorated.
Right, yep.
And that's just completely stopped.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, and I say this.
There's a guy looking at us.
He was looking at us.
Because we're both holding microphones. And he's like, why are they talking into
Maybe
microphones?
He needs to stop being so nosy and buy my stuff.
Yeah, buy something.
So I forgot what I was saying.
Me too.
So
couldn't have been that interesting.
No,
we
must
were
not
talking
been.
about undecorated.
Oh, yes. I say this, and I'm looking at all my decorated painted product here, and the derails aren't painted, so.
And, but these are just little tiny, like I wouldn't want these undecorated. These are, the barrels just blow me away.
Yes.
So anyways, the reason we're doing this is because I'm going to put this segment in front of your version of the Kelly questions.
Okay.
What do you think of the Kelly questions? I didn't think they were that popular, but people keep telling me that they like them.
They do. I mean, I think it offers a little bit of more of a look into people's personality.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting. I think. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe other people will.
Everybody seems to like them. Everybody seems to like them. So what we're doing is we're doing an introductory segment before your Kelly questions, and we just so happened the S-Scale show is in beautiful Buffalo, New York.
Oh yes, beautiful.
Which is kind of like an oxymoron,
right? You remember Wayne's World when they were doing the whole green screen thing,
right?
And they were going through. Oh, I'm in this, that, and it's like I'm in Delaware. Well, it's about that. I'm in Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo, and you live in a place called Salamanca, New York, which is. Yep. Maybe 40 miles south of Buffalo?
About 40 miles, yeah. It took me about an hour and 15 minutes to get up here.
Right up 219?
Right up 219.
And they've expanded that, too, haven't they, 219? It keeps getting a little longer and a little longer.
It took about 30 years to get that little bit longer, and it's probably going to take another 30 days. But someday, maybe, we'll be able to just get on a 4-lane right from Salamanca.
Yeah. So what is because I guess eventually they want to run it down to that freeway that goes through Salamanca.
Yeah, they want to get it down to 86.
Which would be a natural connection.
Yes.
So what's in the future for JL Innovative Design?
I would say my biggest things right now is redoing a lot of the older molds and the older details, making them a lot better. In fact, the barrels, part of the reason that I was able to do the barrels so quickly in S scale was I redid the mold in HO scale. I designed everything in the computer. I 3D printed my masters. So when it came time to do the S scale, I just had to scale them up.
Okay.
So it was a very quick, very easy. And actually, the mailboxes, believe it or not, I did the ones in S scale first. I'm going to have to scale down to redo the HO scale ones.
All right. So it's not that hard to make a mold?
It is and it isn't. It's once you know how, it's pretty simple. But there is a lot of investment.
But you're kind of a mechanical guy, aren't you?
I like to say I can figure pretty much anything out.
Right. So that way you got a customer.
Oh, I do.
All right, so say we're going to close this off. You know what to say?
I do.
Okay, go for it.
Subway chimes, go.
I was going to say, give me your cash.
Oh. Hey, give me your cash.
Go, do it again.
All right. No, which one? Give me your cash or Subway chimes?
No, we better go with Subway chimes.
Okay.
But this guy's dying to pay you.
Yeah, he's looking at us like, what are these guys doing? So, all right, Subway chimes, go.
Yeah, it's either push or pull, or you
twist.
You twist the knob, or do something. Flick it. Exactly. Hey, Bruce. Oh, hey, never mind, Bruce. Hey, David. Who was that? Was that Chris?
No,
nope.
Sorry.
Well, now you're gonna make.
I don't know.
Yeah, now you're gonna make me cough. I'm getting all choked up. Hey, David.
Hey, Lionel.
Hey, David.
Hey, Lionel.
Do you even know if this is the next Kelly question since the last Kelly questions?
Hang on, let me check. According to the records, I think so.
Okay, we're all set to go. So we got a crew here. We got Bruce, the moderately agitated mail boy. We have David Start, all the way from Lafayette, New Jersey. He's one of the Start boys. Don't screw with the Start boys. You won't be fooling with them. And then we got our very own boy, George, who's been on some podcasts. So, guys, we're going to do the Kelly questions. And do you remember a guy a long time ago? This is like a year ago, or just almost a year ago. We interviewed a guy named Chris Costello.
Yes, the guy who owns about 1,000 different pieces of railway equipment.
Yeah, the guy that can't drive past a piece of railway equipment without buying it.
Or a model railroad manufacturer.
Or people have stuff in their backyard and he goes and gets it. And the first thing he ever bought was from a place called French Lick, Indiana. The French Lick Scenic Railroad.
There's a name and a half.
Yeah, isn't it, George?
I agree.
Yeah. I when he first told me that, I remember if I look back now in the Wayback Machine, I remember thinking to myself, that's an odd name, and I stumbled over it when he said it. I was kind of, I asked him a couple of times, I said, what's it called again? So apparently this is French Lick, Indiana, is south of Indianapolis, an hour from Cincinnati, not too far from Louisville. And it's some sort of springs, and now they have a casino, and then they have a scenic railroad, which, by the way, has an RS1 on the roster. So I've got to get there, or I've already been there. And if I've been there, I'm sure I had a great time. You know what we got to start doing is interviewing actual railroads, I think, because there's a lot of railroads out there, and we could start getting some free cab rides.
That'd be a really neat concept.
It is not a cool idea. Yeah, that'd be a cool idea. All right, so we're gonna do the Kelly questions with Chris Costello, who owns JL Innovative, Durango Press, JJL. He has his penchant for buying model railroad companies that have J's in the name. JJL Models, and what was? I think there's a fourth one. Anybody? Hey, Chris, come on in out of the green room.
Oh, hey, yeah. So I was listening in the green room. You're missing Railway Express Miniatures.
Railway Express Miniatures. They've been around forever as well.
Yes.
Yep. So were these 4 independent companies that you bought?
So JL Innovative was the first company that was formed by the guy that owned. I'll get to that. So he started JL Innovative, and then he started Railway Express Miniatures with another guy. The other guy decided to sell his portion of Railway Express Miniatures to him, and then he ended up buying Durango Press from Micro Engineering at some point. Now JJL was a completely different guy. Joe Laughlin, who passed away 5 or 6 years ago now, and we bought it from his estate.
Okay, so now you got divorced, and it's been a year since you bought them. How's business going?
Pretty darn good.
Yeah, you got it all.
Yeah.
You all got it all sorted out now.
Everything's sorted out. We're working on new products, and just keep pushing the website and getting more people to buy straight from us.
So the last time we talked to you, you had a 2015 Chevy 2500 with 185,000 miles on it.
Yep.
How many miles has it got on it now? Like 260?
Oh, it's been a little while since I've checked, but yeah, we're right around 260, 270.
You drive a lot, George. Go ahead.
Almost as much as George.
Almost as much as what?
Almost as much as George does.
Yeah, I said Chris. I said George, and I meant Chris.
Yeah.
That's what I figured, but I figured I'd humor you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just jump in and straighten me out here.
I'm always ready to do that.
Okay, so we're going to ask you the Kelly questions. You need to put on the tinfoil helmet. You can't sit on the couch anymore because it completely dissolved.
That's okay. I brought my folding chair back again.
But don't put the folding chair anywhere near the spot where the couch is because the floor is very weak there.
Well, I did notice that I think some of the goo got on the chair because it's a little lopsided now.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be so careful in that part of the studio.
Yeah.
Would you say, Lionel, it's fair to say that the McGurk has begun?
Yeah, the McGurk has begun. It is dissolved. Yeah, now we just got a spot with a really weak. It's like stepping on quarter-inch plywood over there.
Is the goo? Is that anything like model railroad goo?
I hope not. Because
no, it's much more terrible than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this seems
this is like super fun site goo.
Yeah, seems nasty. This stuff. All right, we're gonna get right to this. So Chris, your very first question is: which do you prefer, steam or diesel?
Oh, well, this is where I'm going to get in trouble right away.
Oh man, here we go.
It's going to be a long night.
Yeah.
I prefer steam, but my favorite locomotive is the E8.
So, Chris, let's go with the first question. Which do you prefer, steam or diesel?
Steam.
Any particular steam locomotive?
I really like the Erie Berks.
The Erie Berkshires?
Yep.
No short forms here because not everybody will know what you're talking about.
Berkshire, yep.
I'm taking that off as a mark.
All right.
Uses short forms. Uses acronyms.
All right. No more.
He's off to a bad start already.
He's off to a nasty start, right?
He's in a deep hole.
Yeah, he already first question he was argumentative and then he went into acronyms. You know what the thing I hate? You know what the second thing I hate about acronyms?
What's that?
It's a hard word to spell.
It is too.
So whenever I have to make a note about somebody using acronyms, then I got to write the word acronym. So by the time I get to the end of writing acronyms, I'm really in a nasty mood.
You're all wound up in a tizzy.
Yeah,
dither. You're out in the dither.
I'm in a dither, exactly. What's your favorite? Oh, so okay, the what did you say? The Berkshire? What kind of Berkshire?
The Erie Berkshire.
Okay.
Railroad's Berkshire.
All right, and the Erie Railroad was formed in?
I believe it was 1832.
Right. How many miles of trackage?
Oh, was it 2,036 or something like that?
2,353.
That was close.
Exactly. And
but did not go over.
No, you did not go over. That's important. And what's a fun fact about the Erie Railroad?
Ooh, for a period of time, it was headquartered in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, so close. So close. Oh, a fun fact about the Erie Railroad: there was a model railroad that appeared on the cover of Model Railroader 2 or 3 times in the late '90s and February '94, and then '98, and some other years, and frequently appeared in the Model Railroader magazine over the period of from 1994 to 2005. And the emblem for that railroad was based on the Erie emblem.
Yes, I will apologize. I did forget about that. That is probably the most fun fact about the Erie Railroad.
Yeah, that's another demo. Yeah. Okay, how many questions have we asked him? One.
This is looking good.
One, and I'm about at minus 29 already. So.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you how low mine is. I want to ruin his confidence.
Can we do a mercy roll with him? Go like 3 questions and call her done?
Yeah. The first guy where we ever pulled out the mercy rule. What's your favorite prototype railroad?
That would be the Erie Railroad.
Okay. And any fun facts you want to? No, never mind. I think that's the problem with Erie. It was based in Cleveland, Ohio.
Well, I will say there is a lot of issues with Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah. You know, it was one of the, I think it's the only place in the United States where the river caught on fire.
Several times.
And yet it has one of the most famous medical institutions in the country. The Cleveland Clinic, which is a very well-known hospital and clinic and medical facility. Very highly thought of.
Also home to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And
the Cleveland Browns, which failed to win a game for almost 3 years from 2016 to 2019. Okay. If you were rail fanning, would you rather photograph the trains or ride on them?
I would say I think I'd rather ride on them at this point in my life.
And would you rather own them and ride on them?
If I own them, I definitely would prefer to ride on them.
How many pieces of rolling stock do you own right at this moment?
I own 2 at this moment, but I have access to several more.
And then does that include all like speeders and high railers as well?
No, if you want to count speeders and high rail trucks, then I'm at 5.
Okay. Bruce, David, and George, interesting. Yes. A question for you. Would you consider anything that goes on the rail as rolling stock, or are speeders and high railers not considered rolling stock?
No, rolling stock is like unpowered stuff.
Okay.
Not rolling stock, but I would consider it rail equipment.
Yeah, I would consider rail equipment, but not rolling stock.
Yeah, so I should have gone with rail equipment. We really could have tripped them up.
I concur.
Yeah. If you could time travel to an era, a railroad era, What would it be?
It would be mid-50s.
Okay, that's good. I think that would probably be a common answer.
Yeah, April 1954, I think.
Wow, April 1954.
Yeah.
Man, this is an important. What day in April of 1954?
I'm thinking the 16th.
Now this guy does his homework. Smooth. That's smooth. Okay, we just give him a plus on that one. That's smooth. Okay. What was your first model train?
It was a Tyco train set. I think it was a Santa Fe Jeep 20, actually.
Wow, a Jeep 20.
Yeah, I think it's been a long time since I've seen the thing, but I think it was probably supposed to represent a Jeep 20.
Do you still have it?
It's in the attic at my dad's, I bet.
Okay, yeah, all right. So some people still have their original stuff, and some people don't.
Yeah. Well, we're kind of hoarders. We keep everything. So.
All right, cool. If you were going to use, this is a great question. It's given Dave Abeleys was the inspiration for this. Dave Abeleys of the Onondaga Cutoff, that layout, beautiful model Conrail Railroad, which basically simulates all through the upper New York area, upper Western New York through Syracuse, Rochester, all through there. If you were going to use serial to simulate an open load in a scale 70-ton hopper, what kind of serial would you use?
What kind of cereal would I use? I'm thinking probably Rice Krispies.
That's a pretty common answer for that question.
Yeah?
Yeah, I wouldn't go with Rice Krispies. I would go with like Cocoa Puffs or Fruit Loops or something like that.
Yeah, Cocoa Puffs would be good for the color, I think. But it just seems a little overscaled to me.
Yeah, but it's cereal in a hopper car, so does it really matter? At that point, you're already way out of.
That is true.
I mean, to me, I think you can use pretty much anything. Lucky Charms.
Yeah.
Fruit Loops, whatever you want. Because you're putting cereal in a scale car.
That is very true. It's I guess I did fail to see the obvious point of that.
What's your favorite model railroad scale?
I'd have to go with HO.
True or false? Is N scale dead?
I think we have to find it before we can determine if it's dead.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like N scale is like a bad Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's really, really good, and other times it just frustrates the heck out of you.
Yeah, I had N scale for a while, and it was right around that frustrating period of time, or towards the end of the frustrating period, I think. Because towards the end, I did have some pretty good stuff, but I ended up moving to HO anyways.
Hey, here's a question, guys. It's unusual. Do you offer any N scale products in any one of your multiple manufacturing companies? I
sure do. Railway Express Miniatures is actually exclusively N scale, and then JL Innovative has several N scale kits and details.
So how long has Railway Express Miniatures been going?
I'm not sure, honestly. I'd say I'll have to do a little bit of research on that, but I'd say at least 10 to 15 years, probably a little longer even.
Are you going to sell direct to hobby shops?
We already do.
Okay. Any hobby shops you want to mention?
Offhand, no. They're I can't think of them right now.
Okay.
Okay. What about on hand though?
Yeah.
Nope, I don't have any on my hand either.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, three that I know of, two that I know of. My buddy Stephen Atwell. He owns Midwest Model Railroad in Independence, Missouri. He's very successful. You should check into selling to him. Our buddy Chris Brimley, he's the vice president of Exact Rail, and they have trainlife.com.
Okay.
And then George, or your buddies out there in Otter Valley, where are they? They're in the Otter Valley.
The Valley of Woodland Creatures.
Yeah, yes, yeah, exactly.
They are located in Tillsonburg, Ontario.
Tilsonburg. Bruce? Bruce is
You
on.
ever been to Tillsonburg?
My back still aches when I hear that word.
Yes. Oh boy.
Way down southern Ontario.
Says you want to work in the tobacco fields of Tilsonburg. Tilsonburg. My back still aches when I hear that word.
Stomping Tom Connors.
Yeah. I hope by now, George, we've interviewed that guy.
Well, I'm sure we probably have.
I hope so.
For all those playing at home, Tillsonburg is about 2.5 hours southwest of Toronto.
Exactly. Southwest of Toronto, about 2 hours east of Detroit.
Okay.
Detroit, Michigan.
Used to be
Motown.
the heart of tobacco country.
Heart of tobacco country in southern Ontario, just across Lake Erie from places like Erie, Pennsylvania. And it's not really that far from Erie, Pennsylvania as the crow flies.
No.
Would that put it by Port Dover?
Port Dover, yeah. Well, it's maybe an hour from Port Dover.
Yeah, at the most.
Yeah.
Give or take, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? I just had a great idea. We should suggest to Tim Morris of Fast Tracks fame and Mount Albert Scale Lumber. How about this to help him with his business and shipping? Why doesn't he, during the heart of the winter, this coming winter, just drive all his stuff across Lake Erie, and then he can ship it right from there, from Dunkirk and those places along the shores of Lake Erie. He's going to thank me for that idea.
That may be the best idea you've ever had.
Yeah, exactly. What's your favorite model railroad, Chris?
I think I have to go with Perry Squires, Pittsburgh, Shawmut, and Northern.
Okay, have you ever been there?
I have once. It's main reason I like it is because it models very near the area I grew up.
And the area you grew up was Salamanca, New York?
Salamanca, New York. Yep, he's got Olean, New York, which is about 15 miles from Salamanca.
And not that far from Bradford, Pennsylvania.
No, not at all. It's that's only about 5 track miles from here, from Salamanca.
Yeah, and you know what Bradford, Pennsylvania is the home of?
Zippo.
Zippo lighters, exactly.
Yep.
And it's also a big, where they process oil.
Yep, big refinery.
Big refinery town. It's this little tiny town. I highly recommend that people travel that part of New York State. It's a very interesting area.
It is. It's very beautiful in the area. It's, we don't have a whole lot, so, pack a lunch and just come on down and drive around. It's a really nice area.
And when you're riding your Harley from 17, the lower Southern Tier Expressway, and you're riding your Harley down 219 from 17 down into Bradford. By the time you get to Bradford, you know what you're thinking to yourself?
What's that?
Why did I do this?
Could they please? Why can't they pave this highway? Oh my God! Why is this highway? Its highway is so busted up. Pave the friggin' highway.
Yeah, we need to play this for the New York State officials.
Yeah, exactly. Who's the most influential model railroader for you?
Oh boy, that I had to think long and hard about this one. I had to think about his name, but his name is William Earl. Is a guy I met when I was living and working in the Chicago area, and he was the first guy that I worked with him when I was there, and he was the first guy that kind of encouraged the trains with me, and I think about it, and it's just like that was everybody else was just kind of like, okay, whatever, and this guy was like, yeah, that's cool. It's and we actually did a fair amount of stuff together.
Okay, and he was an older gentleman, was he, or?
He would be, this was almost 20 years ago.
Okay,
but he, I would say, was probably in his late 30s, early 40s when I knew him.
Okay, and is he still model railroading?
Quite honestly, I have not had any contact with him for almost 20 years.
Oh, was there a bit of some sort of a problem, or?
Oh no, I just I went there in between colleges. I worked there for about a year. When I finally went off to the final college I was attending, I just kind of lost contact with him.
All right. Well, you got to find him again, man. You got to find him again, because that seems like he had a fairly important impact on your life there.
He did, and like I said, until a few weeks ago, I hadn't really thought about him in so long, and I did a quick search. I didn't see anything for him, but it was not a very exhaustive search.
Did somebody give you these questions ahead of time?
No, it just randomly was thinking about that.
Oh, okay, cool. That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's a really neat answer. So you went to Purdue University, and this is somebody. How did you meet him?
I was working. Well, I was going to the University of Buffalo for a period of time, and I ended up getting an internship out in the Chicago area, and I made enough of a impact with them that when I decided I didn't want to go back to school right away, they hired me to stay on.
Okay.
And so I worked with him for a little over a year, and I decided, okay, I'm ready to go back to school. I don't want to go back to the University of Buffalo.
Who does?
Exactly. So I ended up looking around, and one of the girls I worked with went to Purdue, and she was very happy with her time there. So I looked into it, and it was night and day from what I was used to, and I am not at all. I don't regret my decision to go there at all.
Okay. And was William Earl, was he a model railroader, or he's just a co-worker?
He was a model railroader.
Okay.
He was he lived in Evanston, Illinois. I don't know if he modeled anything in particular, but he did model trains, and he was very interested in rail fanning. He gave me a lot of pointers on the BNSF triple track through coming into Chicago about good times to watch and everything. We ended up going down to the Galesburg Railroad days together. He really he encouraged the hobby with me, and it was, like I said, it was I did stuff before then, but it was always the kind of the shameful, I like trains. But after him, it was just like, yeah, I like trains.
Okay. That's a good answer. So, I like that answer. That was a good answer. That doesn't really reflect on the rest of your answers, but that one was good. Select one of the following as your favorite: bench work, track work, scenery, or electrical.
I will go with track work.
Okay. And why? What's it? Is it about track work that you enjoy?
It's some of the hand laying stuff. We've got a set of modules, Fremo modules. One of the corner modules that we have, we decided to make a gauntlet track, and so I ended up hand laying all of that gauntlet. And it was it's one of those things. It's exact work, but I find it relaxing, which is, it seems counterintuitive, but to do that kind of exact, very intricate work, but it's very relaxing just to kind of place everything, solder it, and get it working nice.
Our very own hard part loves track work.
Yeah, I know. Eventually I will buy some of those fixtures.
That would make hard part very happy.
I'm sure it would.
If you could give somebody starting out in the hobby just one item and cost was no object, what would it be?
Oh boy. I'm thinking it's only one, so I can't do
Did everybody else leave? It sounds like it's only me here.
Oh, yeah. Grief, no, I'm still here.
Okay. I'm on mute because I'm pounding my head.
I'm going to say a DCC system.
Okay. Anyone in particular? Yeah, that's a good answer.
It's I would say depends on the people that you are around. I personally have Digitrax, but in the area I'm in, everybody else has Digitrax. If I were up in Rochester more, and I had my layout more up in there, I would probably go with NCE.
Okay, so I imagine it's pretty popular in Rochester.
Yeah.
Which is the home of NCE, Webster Springs, which is a suburb of Rochester. Rochester is a cool town. It's like a forgotten town.
Mm-hmm.
It's like got all this really cool stuff because back in the 60s and 70s, it was home to these, Kodak and what's the one that the copy company,
Xerox,
yeah, and a couple other companies, and it's got RIT. It's like, and so it's got all this really cool stuff, and of course the home of the Rochester Americans, one of the greatest AHL team of all time, and one of the cornerstones of hockey in North America. And so it's like this tiny metropolitan. It's like the kind of place you'd expect Superman to live.
I can go along with that.
Yeah. It's like a metropolis, only it's tiny.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating place.
Minneapolis. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a Minneapolis. Yeah, it's a Minneapolis. Yeah, there you go. So is there much model railroading around Salamanca, which is in the southern tier of New York State?
We think there's a lot of people that are kind of in the closet about it. We've got a small group of guys. I'm going to say 10 of us. 4 or 5 of us are really active. But we do have a smallish Fremo layout that we take up to the Hamburg train shows, Hamburg, New York, which is near Buffalo. We do that twice a year, and then we kind of do we go to everybody's layouts every now. It was like once a month. Now it's kind of it's on and off. So
so there are some home layouts in the Salamanca area, which is not a highly populated area.
No, it's not at all. I mean, we've got it's kind of there's some Salamanca, there's Olean, there's Bradford. We actually one of our nicknames is SOBs because it's Salamanca, Olean, Bradford. So that's one of our little nicknames for ourselves.
Yeah, that's what these guys are telling you, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it because I have to.
Olean, New York's a cool place too.
Yeah, it also is a little bit, not a whole lot of stuff there, as much as it used to be, I should say. But it really, it did have, the Erie and the Pennsy went through there, and the Pittsburgh Shawmut and Northern, Dresser Rand is in there, so it's got a lot of stuff in there.
It's a fascinating area, that southern tier of New York State, northern Pennsylvania, all in through there, in the western part of New York. It's like the land that time forgot.
Kinda.
Yeah, and I don't mean that as an insult. I mean, I love to go through that area because if you're a railroad fan, that whole area is steeped in traditional 50s and 60s railroading, 40s, 50s, and 60s. Like you say, there was roundhouses and all kinds of cool stuff in there. It's fascinating. Yep. The history of that area is fascinating.
Yep. Well, even Dresser Rand that I mentioned, their whole plant is a former Pennsy maintenance facility.
Yeah, and
the roundhouse is even still standing there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I should say a portion of the roundhouse is standing there. It's you'd have to look at the aerial, but it is back there. There's no turntable, and they just use it for storage. But it is there. Their main shop building was for their locomotive maintenance. I think up until recently, their overhead crane was even from the Pennsy.
Wow, that's cool. Then that whole area is nothing but state parks and state forests. the Letchworth State Park. You know what the Letchworth State Park is home to, don't you?
I know it's home to it's called the Grand Canyon of the East.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
but it's also got a pretty big railroad bridge there.
Yeah, that you helped survey.
I did, yes.
You made sure it didn't fall down.
Yes, I made sure it didn't fall down, and it connected in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
That was an interesting day. I believe I told you I was in there early on, but I saw on Facebook the day it all came together, and I called my boss and I said, "Hey, did you get a phone call about the bridge?" He goes, "No. Should I have?" And I go, "Nope."
That's the ultimate for a rail fan. As a surveyor, you're surveying a mainline bridge.
Yeah. No, I didn't have a whole lot to do with it, but it's probably one of my, favorite projects I've worked on.
Now I'm going to have to teach you writer's embellishment.
All right.
Because because based in fact, you could make that story like the whole railroad depended on what you did.
Yeah, I could. I mean, well, I did ensure the quality of the construction of the bridge between, setting the control and making sure that during construction that the stability of the the original or the current bridge was still intact.
Yes, it's a Norfolk Southern main line, I guess, now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's their kind of main line through New York.
Yeah. Here's an interesting question for you. Where do you buy most of your model railroad supplies?
It would be a toss-up between train shows and the museum, actually, in Salamanca. We actually have a Hobby Time account that we use partially for fundraising.
Okay, run that one by me. I'm not following.
So the museum in Salamanca, this is the Rail Museum in Salamanca. We have a deal with Hobby Time, the distributor.
Okay.
So we can actually buy wholesale from them and resell.
Oh, okay. And does the museum make any money doing that?
Not a lot, but it's we do a lot of discounts for our volunteers. The more you volunteer, the cheaper you get from it.
Okay.
I mean, we all any added any markup we give to the museum.
Okay, cool. And
sounds like a pretty good deal.
It does sound like a good deal. Good way to do it.
Yeah.
Here's a question for you. Now that we're talking about model railroad supplies, and you are in the model railroading manufacturing business.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, easy for me to say. Is the hobby growing or shrinking?
I think, I'm not sure, but I know more people are becoming aware of it.
Okay.
I definitely will say it's not shrinking.
Okay.
But I think, more people, a lot of people have been doing I mentioned it earlier, kind of in the closet modeling. How many people, every place I've worked, I've come across at least one other model railroader.
Right.
And, nobody else in the building knew, but because I was so open about it, they'd say, yeah, I model railroad too.
Perfect.
And so it's not something that a lot of people share, I don't think, which is I think it's a little weird just because I don't care what people think. If they want to think I'm weird for,
I think that stigma is slowly dissipating, or not even slowly. I'd say it's speeding up how much it's becoming mainstream.
Yeah.
I think people.
Well, I think part of the, how more people are becoming aware of it and how neat some of this stuff is.
Yeah. I've heard.
I can tell you that I've been approached by a few people when I was, that I knew when I was growing up, they kind of thought it was a bit of a weird thing to do. And I've been approached by a few people that have said, this is really, really neat, and they understand it more now than they ever have.
Yeah.
So it's gone a long way to kind of being like, oh, it's gone from, Kind of like a niche, kind of weird, out there sort of thing to much more of a mainstream sort of hobby.
Yeah, it's definitely becoming more mainstream because of the internet and the access to it, and people can see what it is and stuff like that. And people are fascinated by miniatures, and once they realize that model railroading is not toy trains, that it's much more scale modeling, like building ships. Like building model ships has never been considered anything other than an interesting hobby. People that build ships, and I think
completely.
And I think that's where model railroading is headed now.
But the public perception for a long time was that it's all 3 rail O, basically.
Exactly.
And it's not that at all.
And the neat thing is, people that model in 3 rail O gauge, I think that hobby itself has become much more fun because, people embrace it as part of the hobby as well.
Oh, completely. And it's the same with the American Flyer guys in S gauge.
Yeah. Well, it's not
to be confused with S scale.
Yeah, not to be confused with S scale. What's your favorite train event of the year, model or prototype?
I'm going to have to say Springfield.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even take you that long to get there, would it?
Takes about 6 hours.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, we're.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a tough route, or not tough. It's not a direct route, really.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no easy way to get there, is there?
Right. Yeah, because we got we usually go over to Binghamton, kind of diagonal up to Albany and then over. So we got that north section that adds a lot more time than you would think.
Yeah, actually, it's harder for you to get there, I think, than it is for me coming from north of Toronto.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, because you get all that thing and you end up in Schenectady.
Yeah.
Just like when we end up in Schenectady, but ours is pretty much a straight run.
Yeah.
The only problem is driving from Rochester to Albany can be a little bit of a nap time.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
However, Bruce and I discovered last year on that stretch of road that if you put a bag of M&Ms on the windshield to cool them down, around 76, 77 miles an hour, they actually do get, what do you call it? They become the wind.
They start becoming airborne.
Yeah, they get lift. They lift.
They get lift. Yes.
Yeah.
They get some lift.
they will depart the car. Let me see. What's the next question? What was that?
Was it a little beeping sound?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the security system here at the museum.
Oh, okay. The museum seems pretty nice.
It is. It's not very big, but it's we plan on making it a little bit bigger. But it's kind of just right for us for the moment.
Yeah. Do you prefer regular beer or light beer?
Light beer is what's produced by me when I drink regular beer.
I'm confused.
Yeah. I'm lost.
I'm not.
So do you prefer regular beer or light beer?
Regular.
Okay. Because the problem with light beer is it's kind of like driving a Porsche Boxster.
Right?
Yeah, it's not really a Porsche. You're driving.
You don't want to be caught doing it in public.
Yeah, you don't want to be caught drinking it in public. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like a moped.
Yeah, it's like a moped. Yeah. Yeah, light beer is like a moped.
So, Chris, would it be fair to say that if you drank light beer, you'd produce water?
Say that again?
Would it be fair to say that if you drank light beer, you would produce water?
Probably, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm following now.
Yeah, okay. Salt.
Thanks, Bruce.
Yeah. Salty or sweet?
I'd say salty.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Do you have one?
Not anymore. My dog passed away about a year and a half ago.
What was her name?
Molly. She was a black lab.
Oh, cool. And she lived to be?
She was about 11 years old.
Okay, so she lived a pretty good life then.
Pretty good life, yeah. She followed me everywhere. I got her when I was in Indiana, and she went to Arizona with me, to Pennsylvania, to New York, everywhere. So
yeah, okay, cool. A very nice story. Dogs are great. Although
Yeah.
my dog was arguing with me today.
Oh boy.
She wanted to go one way on the walk, and I wanted to go another, and she was pretty much bound and determined we weren't going my way.
All right. What kind of dog do you have?
We have a almost 14-year-old golden doodle,
Okay.
and she's very, very, very healthy, but she's somewhat temperamental now.
Right.
What is your favorite hot dog condiment?
It's something I don't know if it's not really a nationwide thing, but it's we call it Texas hot sauce. It's kind of a meat sauce that's got some different spices in it, but you put that on it with mustard and some onions.
Okay, and where do you get it from?
We actually make it. We get a little packet from the grocery store, and then you put some ground beef in it and some water, and it eventually kind of it dries out a little bit into more of a thicker sauce.
Okay, and you should start selling that along with all your model railroad supplies.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
All right.
I'd try it.
Yeah, well, it is good. I really do like it.
If heaven does exist, if heaven actually exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Oh, geez. How about your business car is waiting for you?
You there? Wow, that's a great answer.
Wow.
Yeah, that is a great answer. I'd be more afraid of what he might say when I arrived. Like, like, seriously, buddy?
Yeah, I was gonna say whenever I get there, he's gonna say you got off the wrong stop.
Yeah. I don't think so. Go around again.
Why are you here?
Yeah, that's a great answer. Your business card's ready. If you were a beer can, what size would you be?
I would have to go a beer bottle, just because, in my opinion, beer tastes better out of a bottle. But just your, regular, 16-ounce bottle.
George, can you just confirm whether or not my microphone's working?
All right.
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
All right. If you were a beer can, what size would you be?
12-ounce beer can.
Okay.
There you go. Now you're getting it.
How many pairs of shoes do you own?
If we're counting boots and everything, 2, 4, probably about 5 or 6 pairs. 6 pairs.
All right. Man, this guy's starting to get temperamental, this guy.
Sorry.
It's the middle. Okay, this is a question that you might be able to handle. It's the middle of the night and the smoke alarm goes off. As it turns out, in the end, there was only minimal damage, but in fact, it was best to vacate the premises. So you jump out of bed, pull on your sweatpants, and which T-shirt do you grab as you run out into the street?
I would definitely grab my AML shirt.
Attaboy. What's your favorite kind of pie?
I'm going to have to say lemon.
Okay, you don't have to say it. Just tell us your favorite kind.
Okay, lemon.
All right. What is your favorite Bobby Goldsboro song?
Honey.
You have been listening. Attaboy.
Someone pays attention.
What was that, George?
Someone pays attention.
Yeah, someone does pay attention. If you were a superhero, what sort of powers would you have?
I think shape-shifting.
Have we had that before? I don't remember.
No.
I think I have to leave. What did he say?
Shape shifting.
Shake shifting?
Shape
shifting.
Right.
What is that?
The ability to change his form.
Yeah.
Like from a human to a wolf.
Oh, so that's some sort of a Marvel Comics thing or something?
I guess.
Or Star Trek.
Oh, okay. And they call it shape shifting. All right.
Yeah, things.
Yeah, okay. I would have called that the ability to change into different things, but okay.
Okay, the ability to change into.
What do you think? We got to come up with a better name for that superpower. How about the ability to be anything you want?
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Which would mean you could have any superpower in the world. That's a really bad answer.
That is a really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I better mark that down. Shape shifting. Holy mackerel. I'm not
Get
even,
a shape-shifted answer into something else.
yeah, I'm not even going to ask him what his costume would look like.
I wouldn't need one.
What's that?
I wouldn't need a costume because I would just get whatever is appropriate for the shape that I shift into.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Have you ever had a brush with the law?
Other than speeding tickets, no.
Really, eh? With all that stuff you've moved around the country and you've never had gotten into a brush with the law? How many speeding tickets have you had?
2.
All right. In the Chevy 2500?
Actually, in the tracks. I did say it was zippy.
All right, cool. Where somewhere in lower New York State?
One of them was on I-90 between Buffalo and Rochester, and the other one was in Castile, New York.
Okay. How fast did they get you going on I-90?
About 80.
All right. So they weren't even. Was it about 80 or was it like 82 or 83?
We'll say 82.
Okay. Have you ever been on TV?
I have. When I was at Purdue, we put up our modular layout there, and I was interviewed on TV briefly.
Oh, cool. Who's your best friend?
I'm supposed to say my girlfriend, but I it's really my friend Brian Hall.
All right, tell us. And why are you supposed to say your girlfriend? Did somebody tell you that, or?
Well, it's I'm supposed to be dating my best friend and everything, but
but apparently you're not.
Yeah, no, Brian. I don't think Brian's really interested in me, and I'm really not interested in him that way.
Okay.
So,
but I bet you guys make a lovely couple.
Oh, we would.
So, what is Brian Hall? How do you know him?
I met him at Purdue.
All right.
At the road club. But we've just been very good friends ever since. I was in his wedding, and if I ever get married, he'll be in mine. I go out to see him at least once a year. Although after I got the train car, I was out there every month. We're just we get along so well. We can be that. Neither of us. We always think about the same thing, and we're always thinking about the same jokes. And it's just a matter of who says it first. So.
Yeah, that doesn't really paint a particularly enticing picture to me.
I'm sorry.
That was rude, and I apologize.
That's okay.
What kind of jokes would you and Brian be thinking of at the same time? Never mind.
I don't know if they're good. This isn't appropriate.
Where does Brian live?
Brian lives in Bloomington, Indiana.
Okay, and so is that where he's from, or?
He's from Carmel, Westfield, Indiana, which is Carmel, Indiana, which is it's basically Indianapolis.
Okay. Home of the Indy 500. So I guess he's been to see your rail car tons of times.
He is actually the person that got me in contact with them.
Oh yeah, thanks a lot, Brian. Way to go, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's your favorite zoo animal?
Prairie dog.
Oh, okay.
That's a first timer.
Yeah, that's a first
timer. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember in kindergarten we went to the zoo in Buffalo, and they had prairie dogs, and for some reason I was just absolutely obsessed with the damn things for I don't know, for a while. So it's I just think they're kind of neat.
Eventually I'm going to have to apologize to Buffalo. I got to get Chris on here again just so I can apologize to Buffalo. As soon as he said they went to the zoo in Buffalo and they had prairie dogs, I'm thinking to myself, well, that's probably all they had in Buffalo.
I'm making a note here.
It'd be better than the zoo with only a dog, because that'd be just a shit zoo.
Oh, topped off with the peanut butter.
Yeah. Do you prefer Buffalo? They have like
is Buffalo like the new Rhode Island?
Well, it could be.
Could be.
They have.
But you almost have to go through Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo's in a place all on its own. It is. It's Buffalo. It's the problem with Buffalo is that it's stuck.
It's Buffalo.
Yeah, it's Buffalo, and it's stuck in this odd part of the country.
Yeah.
In this little stuck in this corner, and they have the worst weather on the planet. Because they get all that snow off of Lake Erie, and it's someplace you go through. You drive through. Although the Buffalo,
I have to admit, I've been to Buffalo, and I was not taken with it.
no.
Yeah.
Although on the other side of the coin, Buffalo has great people, and it's a great blue collar town. It's a great blue collar town. It's just that
Yes, it is.
It's just that it's Buffalo.
Right.
Do you prefer baseball or hockey?
Hockey.
If you could choose only one professional sports team to root for, would it be the Detroit Tigers, the New Jersey Devils, the Ottawa Senators, or the Toronto Maple Leafs?
I have to go with Toronto Maple Leafs because of the proximity
To Rochester.
to Rochester. Yes.
I should have said Rochester Americans. If you were, yeah, okay.
That would have been too easy.
Yeah, exactly. Buffalo Bisons. If you were stranded on it, did you realize Buffalo's like they went to 4 Super Bowls in 4 years and they couldn't win one of them.
But we're
Mr. Kelly's claim to fame.
Yeah, he's a good guy too.
You know what we can say about Buffalo?
What's that?
Nothing.
We like we like the herd, just not the town.
There you go.
Yeah.
My parents were coming across I-90, and I don't know how they did it. My dad had a tendency to do these sorts of things because he wasn't really one for following rules particularly. And he was trying to, and
And you're like, what else we know?
yeah, and he was trying to get home through this snowstorm, and Buffalo gets more snow than anybody, and so he kind of drove around a barrier on I-90 somewhere between Erie, Pennsylvania, and Buffalo. And then he got to Buffalo and he couldn't get off the highway because everything was so snowed in and closed. They hadn't plowed any of the exit ramps and he couldn't get off the highway. Okay. If you were stranded on a desert island with just one person, would you prefer to be with Bruce, the moderately agitated mailboy, one of the Start brothers, David, or Boy George, or Lionel, the evil overlord?
That's more choices than anyone's gotten.
No, I don't.
We never said this was going to be easy.
Yeah, and I think there's been times when people have had more than two choices.
All right, I'll have to go with David because I've known him the longest.
Oh, yeah. I think this is David. Isn't this your first time on the Kelly Questions?
Yes, it is.
The very first time on the Kelly Questions, you've been chosen on the island.
There you go.
That's a great honor.
Yeah. What's your favorite podcast, Chris?
You mean there's more than just one?
Exactly.
A modeler's life.
There you go. All right, we got to add up. We're going to do your scores now. Bruce, can you go first? Because the two George.
I kind of. Just a minute. I got to pull up the random calculator program here because it's just too complex. My notes are making no sense. Because right off the bat, he was a problem. And like I say, first question, he was down minus 29. Not bad recovery. I'll give him a 2.22.
Okay. I got, for me, actually, George, you go ahead.
Okay, well, after much ciphering here and head scratching,
a lot of head scratching. This was a hard one, especially for me as a first timer. I really had to buckle down and think hard. Nobody said this was going to be easy.
No, this is true. I give Chris a solid 1.8.
Well, not bad.
David, this is your first time doing the scoring. Do you have any questions or?
No, struggled with a few things. Like you said, he did start off a little rocky, and then the smooth date answer, or when he wanted to turn back time to trying to outsmart the host. I'm not sure how I felt about that one. And he kind of picked up points at the end by picking me for the island. I ended up with a 2.367.
Wow,
fairly respectable.
Yeah. Well, he broke the golden rule with me. Was the acronyms?
Yes.
Yeah.
That did me in before I even got. I basically was just watching the old reruns.
Well, I could see you just ready to toss the script away and do something else. I saw that.
Yeah, for the rest of the show, I just was basically watching clips of.
You're gonna watch Green Acres and Tony.
I was watching Beverly Hillbillies on my computer.
Okay, all right.
Reruns of Beverly Hillbillies. and then he tried to suck up with the April 16th 54. At first, I was impressed. And then I realized it was just blatant sucking up, which just
blatant attempt to recover.
Yeah, a blatant attempt to recover. But then I thought to myself, well, it takes some sort of imagination to do that. So that's he's written it down somewhere.
Yeah.
But of course, I never got a card from him. He knew my birthday, but he never sent me a card or anything.
Huh.
However, I would assume at this point, I'll be getting a very large discount on anything I buy from either Durango Press, Railway Express Miniatures, JL Innovative, or JJL Models.
Yep.
Or
opportunities to save.
Yeah. And then beer can one. Yeah. No, I prefer bottles. Well, I didn't ask him what he preferred. And you know what? Up until the superhero thing, I was okay. I was kind of waffling.
Yeah, that really threw me off.
Yeah, I was kind of waffling back and forth, like, okay, well, he seems like a good guy. And then this whole superhero thing of shape-shifting or whatever that was, it was like, that just was like, by that point, I was just like, I didn't even want to, I unplugged my headset and I wasn't even listening to his answers. I was reading them, counting out 120 seconds and then just reading the next one. So I gave him a minus 3.2.
Whoa.
Yeah. Which was a lot better than what I was thinking of about 10 minutes ago. Well, Chris.
I thought I was harsh.
Yeah, it was harsh. It was harsh. It was harsh.
Harsh yet fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
harsh yet fair. Perhaps he'll learn from this.
It's like tough love.
A Buffalo kind of boy.
Yeah, exactly. That was a Buffalo score.
It is.
I
feel okay about that.
What was that?
I feel okay with a negative score being from the Buffalo area.
But overall, you got a positive, so you eked it out.
Yeah, you eked it out, yeah.
And in defeat, we show grace.
Yeah. So, Bruce, can you give out our email address?
Yes, our email address, and please don't ask us to explain the scoring on this one because it would take way too long, and we just aren't up to it. Anyhow, our email address is modeler'slife, modelers with one L, modeler'slife@gmail.com.
And we have a website, modeler'slife.com. If you go there, you'll see all about our Patreon channel, because this program isn't nearly good enough to be on the Patreon channel, so it's free. And you'll see there, if you go to the website, you find out about our Patreon channel. You'll also see a picture of Bruce, the moderately agitated mailboy, in a particularly agitated state. And if you just click on that picture, you don't even need to know the email address, and it's a lot easier to send an email. And go to the Patreon page, sign up for $5 a month. You get full access to the Antics channel, so named by our very own Kaylee Zhang, creator of the Zanger, and a lot of other things. And also, if you belong to the Patreon channel, you have access to the virtual chat room, which Chris himself enjoys quite a bit.
Yeah, almost every night.
Yeah. Give it a good plug, Chris, and maybe that'll see if I change your score.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we all have a good time on there. We chat and work on our own stuff while everybody else talks. It actually reminds me of my Purdue days when I was at the Railroad Club, just down there chatting with friends and working.
Nope, didn't change your score.
Damn.
A for effort, Chris. A for effort.
Yeah, A for effort.
But that's where it stops.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's it. So, Chris, do you think you can handle taking us out of here?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So remember, a Modeler's Life podcast is considered marginally adequate by 6 out of 10
guys that can't stop buying train stuff.
A Modeler's Life is sponsored by Big Ass Maine Potatoes. If you've got a Maine potato, you've got a big ass.
It's another Lincoln Homer.